Andrew McGann here in the Irish Strength Institute alongside Artem Lobov. And Artem, you were over in Sweden with Connor at the weekend and you got a bit of positive news. What was it?
Yeah, I mean, the whole experience was great. Obviously, I was there with Connor and the UFC, and at the after party, I got a chance to meet Sean Shelby, the matchmaker for UFC, and we kind of got talking a little bit, and basically, he was asking me about my record and stuff, and I told him my whole story, how I was fighting guys on short notice and got a few losses, but also some nice wins, And well, basically he said to me, look man, if you can get to 11-6, I'll give you a shot at the UFC. And he kind of lit a fire in my heart, and I'm ready to go now. I really want to put a few wins together, and hopefully he'll keep his word, and I get a chance to join my teammate in the UFC.
Because it seemed like you were focusing more towards boxing recently. You were putting a lot more time in on the pads instead of in MMA. And now have you just completely changed your mind with this news?
Well, I mean, obviously, if Sean Shelby tells you go and get the 11-6, and I'll give you a shot in the UFC, I think any fighter on the planet would, put everything aside and kind of concentrate on MMA then. So I guess that's what I'm doing now. I'm not gonna leave out boxing altogether because obviously it's a big part of the game and it's gonna make me a better fighter. So I'll still be working with my boxing coaches, but obviously MMA is gonna be my focus now.
And did Sean say he had seen you fight before, that he liked your style, or was it just that he had heard of you through people and he said if you can get to this, you can get a shot?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I know he did know about, let's say, Dave Hill, and he was very impressed with my win over Dave Hill. I'm not sure had he actually seen the fight. Everything was a bit of a blur, and it was like, hearing him say those words, I was ignoring everything else. That was the only thing in my mind. And just 11-6, 11-6. That's what I've been saying to myself now for the last few days since I've been back from Sweden. And so yeah, I don't know exactly whether he has seen me fight or not, but that's what he said, 11-6, and that's what I'm gonna get to now.
But you haven't had a lot of fights in Ireland. A lot of people may not know you because you fight most of the time in the UK on short notice. So what's the game plan now? Just take fights everywhere for anything? And I also heard you're thinking of doing it for free.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, it's very hard for me to get fights. A lot of people, won't fight me for whatever reason. I guess, they feel it's going to be a tough fight. Nobody wants to take a loss. I've tried, many things. I've tried calling people out, even on Cage Warriors. I asked Saul Rogers for a rematch, but, he wouldn't take it, even though I suggested it, at whatever weight class he wants to make it, to make it easier for him, still wouldn't take it. And now I've resorted to kind of the last source. I've told my coach that, look, you can, I'll fight for free, and you can use my purse to pay the other guys extra so that they would take the fights against me, and I can hopefully get a few wins and, make my dream come true.
And is there any other guys you'd particularly like to fight? I know you said before that you felt like some guys were avoiding fighting you and you wanted to fight them again and stuff like that. So in particular, is there anyone over the next 12 months that you'd like to get another shot at?
I mean, if I'm honest now, it's at the moment it doesn't really matter who I fight. They have no names for me anymore. They're just numbers. I need to get to 11-6, and it doesn't matter who is in there with me. I'm just gonna go straight through them, and that's it. Get to 11-6 and see what happens then.
John told us a funny thing at the weekend, that your mindset is very similar to Connor's, and it's almost not stronger, but it's interesting, because if you take a fight on short notice, you think, I just have to win really quickly. I am not in great condition, I'll just have to knock him out quickly. When did this start, or what do you think is the main thing behind your belief?
Yeah, like I was always kind of this way, when we talk with the guys, with the teammates, and everyone is kind of different, and some people get really nervous, but they still perform. Some people can get really nervous and it affects them. I've never really got nervous for some reason. I'm not 100% sure. John thinks that there's some part in my brain that is missing. I don't know how right he is, but I don't seem to get very stressed about fights, and there's nothing there that bothers me. I just see it as another day at the office, and so I'm always calm and collective. And
so you need to get to 11-6. We'll just finally look at it like this. You're fighting on Cage Contender in May. Then what? Are you just going to call people out at random, call promoters and say if anyone needs a fight, I'll fly over?
Well, my coach on Common said that he has a plan in place now. He didn't really share it with me. But I hope that, you know, he has enough contacts to, you know, in the UK MMA to get me the fights that I need, and hopefully I can put in the performances that I know I can, and get those wins. And
Thank you very much, Artem. We appreciate the time. We know you were just training.